I'm on my way to the used curriculum and book sale. I've already gone through my homeschool closet, just did a quick inventory of the things that I hopefully, Lord willing, will be able to find over there, as well as I have my Ambleside online book list. So let's see what we find. Shopping at the used curriculum and book sale, and I didn't expect to be in there for 2 hours, but I looked through everything and thank the Lord I got a ton of deals. So can't wait to get home and show you all. I'm back from the used curriculum and book sale, and I was able, thank the Lord, to get a ton of great deals and actually quite a bit of free things. That's why I highly recommend that you take a look in your local community where they have used curriculum or book sales, because a lot of the times they do just give stuff free. So let's get into it, and we'll start with our free resources. So first off, I got a Becca reader. This is Of America 1. Now this book is just a simple reader, and it primarily focuses obviously on American history. And this is something that I just like having around so the kids can read, and it's free. Another Becca reader that I did get is Windows to the World. And this one here just has different stories and different poems that the kids can go through. Also from Becca, this cursive writing tablet. Now there were a few pages from the previous student of their handwriting in there. This one is Psalm 139, 1-4. But other than the first few pages being written on, the rest of the book is completely blank. So that's great to have. For Broad and Staff, I did get spelling for level 2 and 3. And next is a word a day. This I found really interesting. Of course, in a Charlotte Mason education, they're getting their vocabulary from rich literature. I just thought that this was really unique as it goes through and just breaks down for you by day, just different words that you can go over with the students. So for example, this one here, it says theme. It gives the definition, and then it actually gives a little question of which of the following could have a theme. So I thought that was good. I think this is a resource that we can use for quite a while, even if we do a word a week. That would be awesome. Paragraph writing. Now my oldest student is in between first grade and second grade, so he's not quite writing paragraphs, but this is really good because this gives you some thought starters. Another workbook is Writing Fabulous Sentences and Paragraphs. Now I did get this division. We're not quite on division yet, but again, this was free here, and this one just gives a bunch of division problems. Now some hardback books that I did get for free is this dictionary for children. I thought this was really good. My kids, sometimes they just like to grab books and take a look, so this is really good for them here. Another hardback book is Eyewitness Books, Insects. This one of course covers just a various multitude of insects. Whales, dolphins, and porpoises. Lots of information there. And then another insect book, and this is A Child's First Library of Learning Insect World. So these are really great because my kids, I just have them throughout the house in different baskets, and they're able to pick them up along the way and just start reading. Another free resource that I picked up here, sorry if you can't see with the glare, these are sequencing cards for grade 1 through 2. And it simply says here, a busy day, to write the directions in the correct order. So it says eat lunch, eat breakfast, eat dinner. I don't think I would necessarily use these writing with my student. I would more so do this orally. So they would just have to say, okay, we eat breakfast first, we eat lunch, and then dinner, so they can learn the sequencing. So some comprehension just gives you like the first sentence. It says, a turtle is a slow, fast animal. It's tricky. A word in each sentence does not belong. Write the sentence correctly. I don't think I would necessarily use this as a writing resource, but I would use it just orally with my student. And then maps of the world. My first grade, second grader really enjoys geography, so looking at maps is a great thing for him. This is a classical conversations resource here of maps. Another one there. Now, we are not classical conversations, but I thought this was a good resource. Again, another classical conversations resource here is English grammar. So it just goes through, has different nouns, pronouns, verbs. So good resource there. And a primary journal. It's completely blank. Who can't use extra dry erase board and some folders. I thought what was really interesting in these folders, I looked, this one actually has the periodic table of elements. The last resource that I was able to find was the best still of them all. This is Rocket Phonics Volume 1 and Volume 2. I had never heard of Rocket Phonics before. It was in the free bin, and as I flipped through it, I noticed here that as it goes through and teaches the reading, hopefully you can see here that it actually shows how to pronounce the words, and I thought that that was really good. English language is definitely a tricky one, but I think that that would be come in handy. And the last person who had this kept this nice and neat. I mean, they even left a folder of all the cutouts in here. This one comes with a game, and it even has the little pieces here for the games. So I thought that was an incredible deal. When I looked this up online, the value of this is worth about $200, and I got it all for free. Resources that I did purchase, literature. I did pick up Little Men. This was only $1, good deal. Pride and Prejudice, classic, for 50 cents. This one here is The Little Girl's Treasury for $1. Lois and Clark, a little book here for $1 as well. And this one I thought was quite interesting, the children's book of Home and Family. And this one was for $5, but this one has a slew of stories and poems in here that we could read. Let's see here. This has a poem of Little Eyes Upon You, My Little Sister. So this one here is just filled with some pretty classic stories. This one here goes over the Wright brothers. So good deals on some literature books. And I did find this fraction game. This looks like it's brand new. It's for $3. The fraction pieces haven't even been taken out. They're magnetic here. So when it comes time for us to learn fractions, I think this would be a good resource. It even came with a pin there. So pretty much a brand new resource for only $3. Help Your Kids with Language Arts, $3. This one here, it just goes over different punctuations. I think this would be more of a resource for myself, just to help my student in learning just different language arts, grammar. And for $1, Count Alaska Colors. This is good. I like to have these type of books in our number basket for our preschoolers. This one just shows the number 1 olive green otter. Not having any fun. He swam off to find a friend. 0, now there are none. So I like having those books around there. The next resources are on handwriting. My students are currently working on manuscript handwriting, and they'll slowly be transitioning into cursive. I wanted them just to get a hold of actual print first before we went into cursive. But these are the dry erase books here where the student can just go through and trace. And it does have the pen and the ink inside there. And that one came with the letters and then practicing sentences and words. Another one here is cursive letters, the dry erase. So this one here has just how to actually form the letters with the dry erase. I really like these dry erase because we can use them for all the students. And then a simple workbook of I Can Write Cursive, and that one there just has the actual how to form the letters and then blank spaces. And pin time transition. This is actually what we use for our regular handwriting, which my current student is using book 1 right now. So I found this for $2. I thought this was a great deal. And poetry. Poetry is something that we read every single day. I found this really thick book of favorite poems, old and new. I mean, this is something that we'll use throughout. Leslie Thompson, there are so many ways of going places. These have just different, I saw some in here by Robert Frost. Really good poems here that we'll be able to use for years to come. And then another poem book specifically on Emily Dickinson for $1. And I thought this was really good here because it has, especially for the younger students, it has the illustrations there. Just some fun stuff. My son truly likes mechanics and engineering, and I did purchase this 101 Great Science Experiments. He actually took this book. This was the first one that he grabbed, and he's already done one of the little projects in here, which was making a camera, and I thought that was really good. This one was for $3. How Cars Work. This one was for $4 here, and this one just goes through and it shows the different mechanics of how cars work. And this is something that my son is just interested in, as well as drawing, and specifically drawing cars. This is Draw 50 Cars, Trucks, and Motorcycles. I know he's been wanting to get this one as well. And last but not least is No Stress Chess. Now, chess is something that I personally don't know how to play. Actually, nobody in my family does, but my son and my husband have grown interest in it. When we were at an Airbnb one time, there was a chess game there, and they started learning and playing it. And this one is really cool because it has the cards on there on if you're a queen, which way that you can move. So I can see this one being a great hit in our family, where the kids, my husband and myself, can learn how to play chess. And this one was $10. I think this was probably the most expensive thing that I paid there at the sale, but when I looked this up, the price of this was about $25, so still a really good deal. That's all the items that I was able to get. Like I said, a ton of great free things, as well as some things that I did pay for, but highly recommend for you going to take a look at your local community and see where there are used curriculums and book sales going on, library sales. I mean, you can get a ton of great deals. I hope you have a good one. I'll leave you with Colossians 3:17. And whatever you do, in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him.